February 25th, 12:06, District Court, Defense Lobby number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
Gumshoe, you and your terrible timing. That's exactly me. Yep.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got some nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sure you did.
I'll take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there is any break in today's trial. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about it just the other day. Flashback!
Unnecessarily flashback.
Yes. I mean, sort of more. You can go ahead and skip this.
Okay.
I mean, I guess more important for us since it's been a while since we've played. But like, if you guys have been watching, like this was like last episode, so
or like
two episodes because now it's about,
no. It was like first day of trial.
Yeah, exactly. It was something like that. So you guys already seen this. So yeah, pointless flashback. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Secretly slipped evidence law into pocket.
Securely?
Securely, not secretly, yes. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting on that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth. The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility is all but ruined with forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out that she unwillingly caused a man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. Almost said Detective Skye. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Alright.
That's a really long recess. About 50 minutes.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
You and I, we talk for a real long time.
The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions.
Okay, weren't they doing this like yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
It was proven yesterday that Edward used false testimony in that case, and now they're like, oh, we're gonna have harsh punishment for you, and I'm just like, but you already knew this yesterday. He went to the committee to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, y'all just dumb. Of course, it means that they sent someone to death on false evidence.
Right.
It should have been inferred. Whatever sentence you gave that man to that case was based on false evidence, and they're like, oh yeah, let's forget about the fact that we sent someone to death, and now they're like, fuck, we forgot about that. Now we gotta punish him even harder now.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, This isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that Mr. Edgeworth may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witness? The witnesses, yes. I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone's been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? That's never been but there's never been a case example. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
Unbelievable. Edward has found a way to continue the trial. Very well, the defense accepts the prosecution proposal.
Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over.
The defense calls. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer, Damon Gant. Though he may not see it, he seems that he's the top dog in the PD. Let's do this. Time to take on Chief of Police himself. Ah, 5 exclamation mark now.
Yeah.
Okay. Damon Gant. The defense called Damon Gant to the stand.
Damon Gant? What does he have to do anything? What does he have to do with anything? Yeah.
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. Considering it was done in his office.
Right. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. Alright, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
Please wait for 15 minutes while we get him.
Yeah. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Oh, righto. What's with the grim face?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear and already.
There are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh, like what?
Like the role you play in all of this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it to you if I don't want to.
What? Is that true?
I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify.
And only the chief of police, apparently. No one else has this right. Because the chief of police, it's so not above the law that he will follow it through and through.
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony. SL9 incident. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with this forgery.
That's what you want us to believe.
Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious.
See? Okay, that scenario just doesn't make any sense for the jar to go flying.
When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Drake bumped his head. Drake.
Drake. I mean, you just switched the R in it.
Yes.
I mean, unless Dark hit the table, that makes sense, but I don't know. They keep saying that it was Neil that hit the table, which sent the jar flying, so that scenario still doesn't make any sense.
The new Nickelodeon classic show, Dark and Josh.
The real killer of the SL9 incident. Drake Nichols? No, Drake Park. Was it Park?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's been too long.
It's been a long time. Okay, anyway.
I think it was Josh Nichol and Drake Parker, or Park. I think it's Parker. Yeah. Something like that.
Sure.
It's been too long.
It's been too long. I only know Drake and Josh.
Yeah, I only know them by their first names.
It's been too long since I actually watched the show. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut.
If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I better hit him hard and fast.
Alright.
Let's do this. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day.
Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what probably spooked Dark and made him run away like that. Was the defendant Solana Sky also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran off. Off of it. Okay. For it. That's it. Yeah, okay, yes.
So the two of you ran immediately after him, right?
That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. Guess you could say, I got lucky. He got lucky. I didn't get lucky. I never get lucky.
What is luck?
What's about the power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden, and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil when that knife went through his heart, though.
Don't joke around about this.
That's not funny.
Exactly.
When I went to my office... Yeah.
Well, could you tell us what you saw?
It was just a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor.
That was Phoenix, but whatever.
Oh, yes, of course. My accent carries over all characters. Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done.
How could you know that?
Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. I think you said earlier, it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor.
Yes.
Anyway.
It's like, I know he's the chief of police, but I don't know. Was he like here for the entire duration of this? Because I know he was in the courthouse and they went to get him instead of being like calling him down from the stand.
Sure.
So he's just like been like, I guess it might have been like during that transitional period they like give him an up-to-date thing or whatever.
Something like that. Maybe, but that doesn't always happen.
Yeah, I know it doesn't always happen. So he's like, just conveniently like, oh yes, you proved that today, right? Just convenient. Too convenient. So you're saying that forgery has already been taking place by the time you arrived at your office?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are unexcusable, no matter what the circumstances.
Is that how it really went down?
Staring at the witness won't do any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you're better off staring at that court record. Worthy, always the smooth talker.
But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. Okay.
Alright.
You see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Give me one sec. Okay. Found in Chief Gant's safe. Okay, there it is. In Gant's safe. Objection. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up.
Explain yourself.
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example.
That blue badger you showed us earlier.
Seriously, people? Really? A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk.
But whatever, yeah.
Whatever.
It was found where?
You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a role in the illegal investigation. Is this like Phoenix's theme?
Yeah, it's the objection theme, and it has since moved over to be Phoenix's theme in the newer 3DS games. So yes.
I think like Spirit of Justice was like 60% off, but I couldn't just keep buying it.
Yeah.
Can't just keep buying games.
Chief Gant, what is the meaning of this? Oh, here's the defense attorney who may eventually even rival Worthy.
So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery?
Who, me? Or do you mean you?
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so as too.
Although, like, it'd be too convenient it's too much hard work for Phoenix to find a piece of evidence, the evidence list, which happened to also have the picture that Emma drew.
Yeah.
Because Emma drew it, and after we discovered these evidence, you took Emma.
Mm-hmm.
If
Sure.
Emma was with us, if we could have been like, here, Emma, draw this. But Emma wasn't. Emma was with you.
Yeah.
Couldn't have done that.
Isn't that right, Waraito?
Although he's right about that.
Mm-hmm.
The defense attorney can also forge evidence.
Mm-hmm. However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation.
That is true. We had a detective with us.
Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law.
Except for the chief of police, apparently.
Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
What? If the Detective Gumshoe suddenly drops any further, he'll end up paying to work.
Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and the relation to the forgery that took place at the scene of the crime. Crime scene, whatever. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Evidence and forgery. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Jarks was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol.
No, you see, Phoenix is out of everything. He doesn't know anything. Anything. He doesn't know about SL9. He doesn't know about the Joe Dark killing. He doesn't know the chief prosecutor.
Yeah.
He doesn't know the chief of police. He doesn't know protocol. He doesn't know evidence law.
He's not C3PO. He isn't programmed with etiquette and protocol.
He's not programmed with anything. He's literally machine learning. He just learns as he goes.
That's what you get when you're a conduit for the player. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences.
Oh. See?
Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you don't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. Alright, Edgy. In return, though, I know, that place, right?
Huh? What are these guys, telepathic?
Alright, cross-examination.
I appreciate if you stop making these ridiculous allocations.
Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that.
What? I have you know back in the day I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped.
But Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof contradictory to the contrary, you are going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when your fingerprints are found. Yes, if they are found inside my safe, then they would prove your investigation was illegal.
Grr, I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Not even Varn Karma. I mean, literally Varn Karma made it so that we could not talk about anything. I don't know which is worse. I think I prefer this guy over Varn Karma.
Yeah.
I think I prefer this guy. What do you mean by that?
This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery.
If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery,
I'm not through speaking yet, Mr. Wright. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered.
are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation?
It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced.
Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient?
Right. The chief is talking about the possibility, so long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever will only succeed in wasting time.
Tell me something I don't know.
Come now, Mr. Wright. Think about it. There's no reason I would participate in the forgery.
How can you look me in the eye and say that?
Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure if I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Scott. Well, do you see? Well, now do you see?
Really, Chief Cat. At the very least, there is one very large benefit you reap from all this.
Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit?
That would, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police.
Oh?
The solution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is significant motive.
Oh, that's a good one.
Huh?
Do you really think I'm that incompetent?
What do you mean?
Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little.
Is that true, Edgeworth?
Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway.
Gah!
Be careful when pointing that finger, or you may wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there was only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. The only three people I look out for is me, myself, and I.
Of course.
There, it's out in the open now. Udgy, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? By all means, please do.
Okay.
I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. And there's...
Nothing in it for you?
Sorry, but the only person I care for is yours truly. That girl, Lana's sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy.
Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Point out accomplished. Okay, so... Wait, accomplice to him? Or accomplice to Lana? I forgot. He wouldn't help them out without benefit from himself. Would he have point out accomplice? Accomplice. Okay, there's no exclamation mark, so I'm safe for that. I won't lose anything. He would not help anyone out if there's no benefit for him. I'm going for that. But I didn't think of how it would help him. That means he wouldn't have helped out anyone.
Relax and take a deep breath, Mr. Wright.
Okay, so that's what they were talking about. The phrasing of that sentence confused me. I'm like, do you mean would he have helped out of goodness of his heart?
Of course not, yeah.
Help out, like, because there's a benefit to him.
Right.
With just being like, given his selflessness, where you help out someone, I'm like, given the circumstances. But you didn't give me a given circumstances.
Try to think outside the box. After all, that's what you're good at, isn't it?
Think outside the box. I never thought I'd hear him tell me that. The question isn't who would the chief help. It's who would ask the chief for help. If someone did that, he'd be sure to find a way to benefit from that person.
It appears the defense has nothing more to say. Chief, would you please repeat your testimony from the beginning?
Okay, thank you for clearing that up. No, not really. Oh, that was... Yeah, never mind. Get is the one who murdered Prosecutor Marshall 2 years ago. Yet I know he played a part in the forgery. That can only mean someone asked him to be an accomplice.
Damn again, someone's accomplice? That sounds unlikely.
Wow, it's like he read our mind. There we go. I can never tell when's the last. Okay. Yeah, I can hold and be like, oh yeah, skip all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Yet again, there's no given a circumstance here.
Right.
The phrasing of the question just confused me.
Sure. Yeah.
Seriously. I'm like, yes, given a circumstance.
True,
True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But it will benefit you, you might just decide to assist someone.
Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
What? We literally just said that he would help out if it benefits him. That's not what I mean.
Very well, I'll ask. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence?
I mean...
Yep.
Who else just admitted to forging evidence?
Yep. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky, the defendant?
I believe it's quite obvious in the light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? As for Chief Gant, he would have had a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit.
Mm-hmm. Self-profit? What do you mean?
After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
But how would he profit from all this? He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. You mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets?
That's
Kermit the Frog here. Oh, wait. You mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind.
Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her.
Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something.
What?
Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing?
Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she testified against Gant.
I'm afraid without any proof, all this amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean?
What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the chief is now making Lana take the rep to cover up his involvement.
What?